How's it going, everybody? The Green Goblin trial is officially over, and I gotta say, it was the worst legendary event we've had since the inception of this Scourge style, since Morgan Le Fay. Nearly 2,000 people ran the same difficulty with all the same packs on and had to go to efficiency to do the breakdown. I think that's not healthy. We're going to talk about why that is, what they could have easily done to fix it. We're going to look back at old Scourges to try and show why this was such a fumbled ball for no reason. There's no reason that this should happen. We're going to do all that and more. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it. Alright, so I want to start here because I did a little bit of fact gathering, some very minimal fact gathering. I went to my Discord, which just have a healthy spread of different sorts of players, and I let them know the message that I sent to the Envoy server, and I'll read that for you now here too. I said, top 2k of the Goblin leaderboard all did difficulty 8 with max Scourges. Without you guys disclosing the efficiency system, people feel disheartened. Y'all should really give us how efficiency is measured so that we can spread that word for you. That way people can make a at least informed decision on how to push for efficiency if that's what they need to do. Because if we're all going to have to do the same difficulty, all with the same packs on, then it'd be nice for us to know how to give ourselves a little bit of advantage rather than just make teams big, ooga booga, right? So,
ooga booga.
Yeah, we need to know how efficiency works. And then I added in a little bit of sass. I channeled my inner Scotty and I said, there needs to be a middle ground between 8 and 10. Oddly enough, there is this weird number 9 I hear. If you take the stat difference between difficulties 8 and 10, divide that by 2, then you get slap that big boy on this mysterious 9 number. And that is me making mention that the difficulty jump from difficulty 8 to 9 was astronomical. Like, the characters got nearly twice as much damage, nearly twice as much. It was a stupid, powerful jump, right? That's why there was so many people doing difficulty 8 with all the packs on. And then the jump from 9 to 10 was so minimal that if your roster was capable of doing 9, then you might as well have done 10. And if you didn't, then you were just wasting your time. You would still at least guarantee yourself in the top 500 if you made it all the way, but then you're taking yourself out of the running for top 50, so then why even bother? Anyway. Alright, and then we had a slew of people who were giving me their information, because I did say, let me know if you place near 2k and do difficulty 8, all packs equipped. And what came out of this, I thought was actually pretty unexpected. So, 339 did difficulty 8 with all packs on. 331 did difficulty 8 with all packs on. And then all the way down here, as low as rank 250, did difficulty 8 with all packs on. Now, we have someone in chat who tells me that they were 225 difficulty 8 with all packs on. And then if we keep scrolling down, we see the numbers are getting bigger as people are coming in. We got 2088 to difficulty 8 with all packs on. And it goes all the way down to, I believe it's either 2200 or 2100. So we have near 2000, 2037, 2198 is claiming difficulty 8. Okay, no, he left the first pack off. I believe it was 2093. Let me find that just to show you. All the people. There was heavy. Normally, if I put an at everyone post here, I don't get nearly this much engagement. So I know there's a lot of people that are like, what the hell? So yeah, this was the jump right here, 2093. So this was like the base score you would get on difficulty 8 with all the packs turned on. This is probably someone who was really, really pushing the roster. So shout out to Banana Talons. Awesome name, by the way. And he scored 1.595592 points. Okay? Really, really good score. Difficulty 8, all packs on. You had to build up your roster. You needed to have your new Avengers built. You needed to have everything. You were a prepared player who was going to push for this trial, okay? What a strange score. I did all Scourges difficulty 8. No, so it goes past 220. Oh my god. The first person was even before 218. There's nearly a 2,000 person tie doing difficulty 8, all packs on. To say that is I just don't believe that there isn't a way, and I know there's not because we're going to discuss the ways they can fix this. There's no way it's acceptable for this many people to be doing the same difficulty based on efficiency with nothing else the developers could have thrown in there. There's no shot. We're going to go over that right now. Alright, so we have here a look at the Pestilence Scourge. This is the very first legendary that came out with this sort of release method. And right away, when you opened it, you can see the big difference. So first of all, the difficulty jump from 8 to 9 was still as atrocious as it is now, but then 10 was also impossible. Like, when this was just not to happen, right? So that's an issue. That's been an issue for all the trials, I think, where the jump from 8 to 9 is stupid. The jump from 9 to 10 is not as dumb. So I really hope that they could just use some common sense. It's so easy. Oh my god, it's so easy. Take the stat difference from difficulty 8 to difficulty 10, cut it in half, that's your difficulty 9. And then have difficulty 10 be that, okay? Just have the middle ground. Have the middle ground. That's already going to separate a lot of players. And then take a look at this. There were 21 packs in the Morgan Le Fay trial. 21. You know how many were in the Green Goblin? 9. There was 9 packs in the Green Goblin. 4 of which were no-brainers to equip. They changed very little. In the Morgan Le Fay, we had some absolute crazy ones. So Power Fatigue 2 made your special cost an additional point. Power Fatigue 3 made your ultimate cost an additional. That in and of itself was a huge change to the strategy on some nodes. Bleeder, when you got hit, you take some damage. Too Clever, when you did your special, you got ability blocked. Blinded by Power, when you did your ultimate, you got blinded. There was Gloating, so you couldn't burn any sort of nodes. Like, we did some burns here for difficulty 10. There was a bunch of Give Them Energy. There was a bunch of if you block, you get stunned. There was one that made minions. So there was definitely some easy ones, but there was 21 different options, not 9. This in and of itself, even though the entire community, for the first Morgan Le Fay trial, the entire community was doing difficulty 8. All right? Everybody. Basically everybody was doing difficulty 8. I guess that's not true. There was a lot of earlier players. All endgame players doing difficulty 8, but there was no mass tie. There wasn't. Because people didn't want to deal with special giving blind. They didn't want to deal with alt giving ability block. Flip that. They didn't want to deal with the extra energy. They didn't want to do all the different kind of burn attacks and things that we had to build into each other. And that brings us to the Rogue trial. This is another video I did. The Rogue trial. They added packs. There was 27 or 28 in Rogue. I don't know because I was going so quickly. How do you go from your first legendary events under this new system being super loved? I'm sorry, people remember those Web Warrior nodes and they hate them, but I remember insane engagement when it came to the Pestilence trial. Insane engagement when it came to the Rogue trial. I'm not talking about my YouTube numbers. I'm not talking about Twitch numbers. I'm talking about Discords popping off, Reddit popping off, people sharing strategies, people doing everything. You know what happened with the Green Goblin trial? More people that I know love the game that are hyper engaged said no. They said no to this. Global Blasters was just straight power for older characters. That didn't feel good. They made you rebuild Rebirth even higher, which is actually okay, because, you know, they did the war change. That was very nice. And then they made them usable in the raids, or maybe they accidentally made them usable in the raids if you have Super Scroll. Anyway, the Rebirth is another story. It was kind of lame that they changed the status quo from every legendary event before this and made it a second team that you had to have. But there's also city villains. Now, we've had past nodes where when you unlock the character, it made it a lot better. Rogue, for instance, for those global mutant nodes, Rogue made it a lot better. That was great. For Gamma, I think he had bio nodes at the beginning. Hulk made it better. That was good. Why couldn't it just be city characters? So Green Goblin could still definitely come in there and be awesome, but we would still have, you know, our new warriors to play around with. We'd have other city characters. I don't really know many city characters off the top of my head. They're all kind of trash. A-Force, I guess, has some good city characters. Why did they have to make it so specific? People dislike that. So the interest in this trial already was down. Was way down. Then they add the fact that they are now doing 400k as the breakoff for the leaderboard, where for the past events it was 100k. Is the community just that much smaller now that you're trying to starve people from those shards? Like, what's going on? Why are you trying to make the ranked awards smaller? All of this culminates into what I think is the worst legendary event they've ever run, with a 2,000 person tie. I have to ask, I really have to ask, why can't we have something like Power Fatigue 2 and 3 on every single legendary? This doesn't affect your design when you do the nodes. This affects our approach to the nodes. All of a sudden, I'm not going to use my special this time. I'm going to wait till the next turn when the next wave drops in because I need it for that. Same with the ultimate. Same with Blinded by Power and Too Clever. Why can't those 4 packs be in every single trial? Because they will change the way people have to play the nodes. Those 4 alone would change the crazy amount of ties. Why isn't gloating on there to stop burning? That'll help separate people as well. What about the freaking butterfly effect? Well, that was on what, Death Seed one? Why can't we have all those generic trials all thrown on there? Are you afraid that your community is so dumb that we have to keep it under 10 and that half of them need to be auto equip? That's not right, because your highly engaged players aren't dumb. All of you guys that are sub to Dorky Dad, I know you're not dumb, all right? Because you were smart and you hit that damn button. I'm just saying, something felt really off with the Goblin trial. You guys know I love Scourges. I love these trials. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it at all. Something was wrong. I don't know if it was the community's response to it. I don't know if it was because once I did the playtest, I was like, okay, well, I know if you're strong enough, you could do 9-10. I ended up doing a difficulty 10 run. I secured top 500, that's fine. But when I hear 2,000 people did the same difficulty with all the packs on, and it was the difference between top 500, top 2,000, and nearly all the way down to 1 to 3% got cut off to this tie. Could you imagine? Could you imagine that 1 to 3% got completely cut off, and you dropped right to 4% if you weren't top to that? Like, something felt bad here. I don't think it ever needs to feel this bad. So here's my final advice that I hope some developers from Scopely are listening, okay? I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. These events are so fun and they're so cool, but you're getting lazy. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I mean that just in a unbiased, factual sense. I look at the amount of packs that we had for the Horseman trials. I see how generic they are. I see how I definitely could have used a bunch of these in this event. There's no reason why you can't copy paste some of these. If the coding is bad on it, go back, redo it. Whoever did it in the first place, get them back, put it in the code, make it generic so you can copy paste it, figure that out. And then the difficulty difference, that's got to be on purpose. There's no way that something as simple as the stats can't be fixed on the spot. All right. I understand your Nova trials were a disaster because you didn't test them at all. I don't even think you let us play test them till the very end, if at all. We didn't get to play test Green Goblin till the day before, but at least nothing was broken. These events are too important to your game. They're too important to your super engaged community. I think you guys need to do better. I think it's easy to do better. I hope you take this advice as constructive criticism and not as mad middle-aged man ranting. I'd like to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Am I off? Was the difficulty 8 to 9 jump fine, and then 9 to 10 even better? Were the amount of trials, packs, whatever you want to call them, was that okay? Were the nodes too prescriptive to the point where you just didn't care anymore? And are these legendary events losing their spice just because we've had them a bunch now? Or is it because of the structure? Let me know in the comment section below. Have yourselves a great weekend. If I missed you, happy Thanksgiving. Happy, post-Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are not still comatose. Have yourselves a good weekend. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.